So we're on take 3, and Miss Nina was on YouTube. So y'all give me a second. Y'all still with us? Instagram and TikTok, YouTube, our lovelies who are catching this live. This is part 3. I just want to give us a second for our lovelies to join again, so I can continue with our YouTube lovely who I was pulling for. The other day my phone was acting up. I needed a new SIM card. See, the phone that we use for YouTube is an old phone that we just use under Wi-Fi. I don't know what iPhone this is. I think it's an iPhone, maybe like 12, something like that. Maybe 11. It's an older one. I don't think it's a 10, but I think it's like maybe 11 or 12. Not sure if that's why. Because again, it's only under Wi-Fi. But it's fucking sickening. It is sickening. Unless we were to do YouTube. Is the guys joining? Let me text him because he may. Miss Nina, are you here? Yes, because you still reading, girl. Hold on. I'm sure he is, but every time I say I'm sure he not, I said that man been reserving his energy. Cause y'all know I'm gonna be taking the back seat soon. That man, I'm curious to see how he gonna show up. Miss Nina, are you here? Welcome back, y'all, YouTube. I don't know what's going on. But Miss Nina, are you here? I'm ready to continue. Artist, are you here? I think the artist was on YouTube tonight as well. Graffiti said the religious zealots. Is that how you say it, Graffiti? Mad they can't comment on your live to tell you tarot is evil. You blocking them as quick as they thought they came through. Okay. Yes, welcome back. The artist. Okay, you're here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish with Miss Nina. Miss Nina asked when was that person coming back, and I did channel within the next it could be connected to Leo season, which closes out on the 21st. The 21st is about 6 days from now. I said it may be 8 days too, but I want to pull a few more cards for you, Miss Nina. We got the Temperance, Aquarius. Hold on. Okay. Okay, Miss Nina. So I'm going to just say within the next 3 weeks, I'm feeling strongly, Miss Nina. Within the next 3 weeks. Within the next 3 weeks, because now we got Aquarius energy, and the moon enters Aquarius on an Aquarius day, September 4th. So around September 4th, September 5th, you hearing back from them or them, returning for a conversation. I do feel like a conversation will be had. Okay, Ms. Nina? Zealots. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and move into the artist reading. The artist wants a general. Welcome into all of you who are joining our stream. Oh, you're here? Okay, yay. Yes. I do feel like I would recommend, Ms. Nina, that you write a letter to them in the spirit, like you write on paper in real life, and then go to meditation, call their energy forth, and visualize yourself handing them. So I'd recommend like sooner and then watch how everything unfolds in the physical realm. Maybe to them about like you being open to returning or whatever it is that you want to get off your chest. Go ahead and write it down. And then after that, after you, with that letter, I will fold it up and put it under your pillowcase. But you pretty much want to do like a I welcome you back if you want them to come back, like a welcome back letter or something like that. It doesn't have to literally say welcome back, but yeah. Fold that up and put it under your pillowcase until they call or they come back. Andrew said, you are so fucking beautiful. You are really a black goddess. Thank you, babe. Okay, the artist. Thank you. Immaculate vibes, Ashe. artists need to know. Okay, we got to go. The artists. We got the got to go card. Let's see what this is about. We got gambling in reverse. We have lost upright. The Voyager. Damn, you got the traveling card again. Okay. The Page of Pentacles. Assisted living. Yes, coming out. Yes, that's it. Yes, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So, the artist. Yes. With this got to go. You got to go, gambling in reverse. You got lost. You got the Voyager, Page of Pentacles, assisted living coming out. This is literally like it's reiterating the we have here, but I do feel like there are some pivots, some shifts that you're being called to make. It could have to do with you falling back or cutting back when it comes to like how you communicate with somebody, but it also feels like it has to do with like the way you show up when it comes to like your creativity or your work. But remember, I was like, Spirit's like, let me help you with this assistant here. It may be a little hard for you to see, but I would definitely be to you need to start acting on those nudges, because there's a new opportunity, a new path that you're being called to explore, but you have to let something or be open to changing thing. Yeah, I really feel like you're stuck in some kind of ways when it comes to like it feels like it's a daily thing that you do or a weekly thing that you do. It's some kind of schedule that you're on, or some kind of expectation you have in regards to how things should flow, based off of how they normally flow. But I do see, I'm hearing, let me switch up the tempo. So yeah, Spirit's about to switch up the tempo. And you may feel just called to slow down and honor this space, okay? Honor this space and don't judge yourself or feel guilty because you're not doing as much as you did before. You're not lost. You're being realigned. So I encourage you to leave that down below. The artist, I am not lost. I am being realigned or repositioned. Okay? So that's what I got for you, babe. Okay. I'm ready to transition. Y'all, it's 9:30. I know it's been a minute. Since we used to transition around 9:30-ish. And over the past month or more, Brother Lagos, he been in and out. And then we will transition, it would be like 10:30. It's been a minute since we've been back on track. So I shade to that. I shade to the realignment, at least for right now. Masterpiece said, can I just send a difference so you can do my general Legba reading to you? Sure. So I'll go ahead and pull for you. You're like, wow. Hey y'all, peace and love to all of you. All right, Lakita. Nice. The Empress, you got the Justice. You got Good Lady. Woo-wee. You got Depression. Aw. I'm proud of you, Lakita. Because it doesn't feel like you've changed, but it definitely does feel like you've been more intentional when it comes to like checking yourself, calling yourself out. I do feel like you've been doing things to move more in like your feminine energy, whatever that looks like for you. That's just the vibe that I'm picking up. But Ilegwa, the Good Lady, it's time for you to I will recommend you start working with the sisters. Ilegwa is recommending that you work with the sisters, specifically Oshun and Ajay. Okay. Elegwa has cleared the way for you to work closely with Oshun and Ajay, and they're heavily connected to your energy. That Sag energy. So I would definitely start wearing more yellows, more greens. If you can, like, you may even start to see like little sunflower, like fake little sunflowers, right, at the dollar store, or little something that got a bumblebee on it, or things like that that may resonate with you. And I say get it and start bringing it in your space. You may feel like, I don't know if you have a car, but if you have, like, you want to add some things to your car that are like bee themed or Oshun themed or something like that. But definitely I would recommend that you start working with those two. You have a lot of feminine energy out here. And so Elegwa's like, work with them. The path has been cleared. The path has been cleared. Ooh, we got the court in reverse. Depression, the court in reverse. He's pointing out March. Something about March. And I heard you're getting what you asked for. So I'm not sure if you wrote a petition in March or February. Did you write something out to him? A request? This is a written request that you wrote to him. And you did what needed to be done. And so now he's coming through on his word. You said custody battle. Was a custody battle in March? Yeah, with this justice, you may even want to work with my aunt. Confirmation. Yeah, we got the Hermit. This, you see, she writing on a book. What did you write? You ain't got to tell me what you wrote. But, or maybe you may want to write a petition. Write a letter to Papa. Write a letter to him. Maybe a gratitude letter now. Because I feel like you've already written down or had a conversation in regards to the requests that you had. But, and so now that's coming to pass. That's coming through. He's coming through on his word. And so you may want to give like an offering. Okay. Give an offering. Get you a little fireball shot. You said I put a prayer in around February. Yeah, I picked up like that February, March. Because I said March, but now like I started like leading into February. So yeah, I would definitely give like an offering. Yeah, if you could make it to some railroads. If you can't make it to railroads, I don't know if you have an altar, or you could pour it out at a crossroads, at a four-way intersection. And as you're giving this offering, be intentional. Like, you use visualization when it comes to maybe you walking down this path, and receiving that of what you've been like calling in. But yeah, that's what I got. We got renew in reverse, house in reverse. So yeah, this has something to do with like your stability, family, your home situation. Like, something definitely was stale and it just didn't seem like it was moving through, but it is. Yeah, we got traffic citation. And I'm seeing Charger, a black Charger. Not sure what that has to do with. I mean, I know the black Charger is like, they call it the military car. They say like everybody who's in the military, like they have that's like the black, they have the black Charger. So that could be like this militant energy that you've been in, you know, being more disciplined and holding yourself accountable with that militant energy. And you got the court here. You got the court. You did say it was about a custody battle, so this could have to do with that custody battle energy. Huh?
Some sort of love demon.
What about it?
That's what the black charge is connected to.
Oh, Lagai said the black Charger is connected to some sort of love demon. Some sort of love demon. I'm not exactly sure. He like stepped out, so I gotta try to feel into that, but Maybe there's a cord cutting that needs to happen with the love demon. I'm not sure. I gotta feel that through. You said I shall send the difference to Brother Lagaz. Okay. So do you still want a reading from him? Be clear, Masterpiece. I'm confused.
The Masterpiece?
It is. I'm a little confused with the love demon.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
He got you. Stay with us, because you left last time. He was here, and then you came at the very end. She said she about to send you something, I think. All right, y'all leave some green and black hearts below so we can collectively transition with this energy. You said because I only see 12. Okay. All right, cool. But thank y'all for sharing this space nonetheless. Tonight was definitely a beautiful stream, and we're going to be transitioning over to the next part, which is with Brother Lagaz. He has some spiritual light to shed. If y'all would like any guidance from him, you can send in love offerings. Graffiti, can you drop the comment, please, so I can pin that down? I don't think I have the pinned comment for Brother Lagaz's information. Peace, Mom. How are you? Did I say drop green and black hearts? Okay, Ogun. I didn't even realize that. I meant to say green and brown. Y'all are dropping green and black. Okay, Ogun, with the clearing of the obstacles and the protection and things like that. Some of us can benefit from a walk with Ogun and unlock with Ogun and Ilegwa meditation on the website. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my mess. All right. I'm creating it's been I created Taekwon put in a custom request for a force field set. That's why I tell y'all, if y'all see anything on the website that is out of stock, because a lot of our pieces are if y'all see something that's on the website that says out of stock, that doesn't mean it's not available to you. I can recreate. It may not look identical, but we can get as close to the energy as we can, or the color theme, whatever it is. But this is a recreation of the force field set. This is bracelet. I'm working on the necklace. I have all the I them on the chain itself. This very powerful unfuck with so y'all head over to the website what we do have in stock, and thank y'all for the grace that y'all have been sending. Still have getting y'all's orders out. Tomorrow I'd like to have all y'all orders out, but thank you for your orders. CrystalineMars.com. Don't forget you'll get your free shipping for US orders over $75. Am I Muslim? I am not. Masterpiece said, so since you did my reading, Lagaz can skip, I guess. Okay. You're so confused. Okay. I do think he's going to bring some clarity with the love demon thing, though. So still stay around for that. But, Ashay. Are we on TikTok? We are. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And our name on all platforms is Crystaline Mars, as you see it up here. Thank you, Graffiti. When we're live currently on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Jim said, have you heard the gospel? Yes, I have heard of news. I have heard the good news. Hey, Kaliska. All right. All right, so Lagaz is ready, y'all. Thank y'all again. I'll see y'all in the comments. Until next time, Ashe.
family.
Grace.
Today's spiritual lesson. So I have here on the board. I'll finish going over the concept of free will versus willpower, right? Because in my in one perspective, in one sense, we do have free will, but in another sense, we do not have free will, but we do have willpower. I say we do have willpower. It just depends on which perspective you want to look at it from. But it makes, well, I'll go over it. Now, you see on this board, we have God. Do we have omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, right? And then on the other side, we have, you see it's infinity on this side, same thing over here, infinity, and then finite, which is the now. Okay, so it's a limited presence, a limited potency or power, right? Omnipresent meaning be aware of all things, a limited awareness, or a limited knowing, omniscience, right? Or the now science, which would be only knowing of the now. Shay. Then we have free on the infinite, on the infinity side, on the infinite side, and we have power on the finite side. Now, that being said, God, when we say God, I'm not necessarily talking about one being. It can be one being. It can be many beings making up the one. It's all perspective. And it depends. I don't know if there's just one energy, one, I'll say, mind that has created this universe that we're experiencing, or if it's many minds or a few minds. But whatever it is, whether it's many or one, we'll just call it God for now. Ashe. And it would be ridiculous for anyone to pretend that they know if it's one God or many gods, or whatever. Right, because you can try to, even if you try to go off of quote unquote the Bible, God cannot really truly be described in their true totality with regular human words. There's no way we could describe the all being. In fact, that's why you have the concepts of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, of this three-part being. So either way, however you look at it, we'll just, it doesn't matter what religion or what concept you're coming from. We'll just say, okay, the overall, source being, right? Now, we are like, to God, we are a story. Ashe. I was looking into YouTube real quick. Someone said something about DUI. I don't know who they're talking to about that. Ashe. So, when it comes to God, we are a story. This is a story of God, all right? However you see God, we are a story, right? We are God's story. We can look at it. I like to describe it to my son. We're like a comic book. That makes it just easy to digest, right? We're a comic book, right? So God creates this comic book that makes God all powerful to us, because it creates everything within this comic book. or you could say a video game, right? God makes all that's within this video game too. So to us, God is all powerful, right? At least in this realm. This is the realm that we exist in, right? To us, God is all knowing because God knows everything that God created and put into this game or into this comic book. It knows. Okay. It is omnipresent because it is aware of each page in the comic book. It's aware of each level in the game. I say piece of graffiti. So that is how God, when I say God, I'm talking about the creator energy, right, of our existence, of our experience. That is how God can be all aware, all powerful, and all knowing. No different than when we make a video game or we make a story or make a book or make a piece of art, a drawing. You then become the God of that creation. You are the God of that creation because you can destroy it. You can add whatever you want to it. You have total control. Yeah, sure, Sean. Yeah, definitely. If you want to throw in any questions, that's perfectly fine. So, this is how God is all knowing, right? This is how God is the all, the infinite. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky because there are different versions of God. And these different versions of God are based off of time. So the God that is making the let's go back to the comic book part. The God that's making the first page of the comic book is different than the God who's making the second page. It's different than the God who's making the third page. What do I mean by that? Meaning if you are making a comic book, if you're writing a story, a novel, the being that you are in the first page is different than the being that you are when you're writing the second page. How is that? It's because when God is creating, this is how you can get to the idea of how in the Bible, how could God destroys creation or be surprised as creation did this or did that or whatever, right? How could God's all knowing, all powerful, all this. How could God be ever surprised? Well, this is how God is surprised. When an artist creates a song or creates a painting or a sculpture or a story, the creation comes from within. It comes from within you. You created it. And yet, how many times have you heard of an artist when they created the thing that the art piece that they created? Half the time they don't even know where it came from. They don't know how they created it. It just came out of them. Or they had an idea, they had a concept of where they were going with the story or with the song or with the art, and then it ended up changing over time as they were creating it. Or they had a concept and they created it and then they didn't like the way it turned out. And because because you are the artist, you are the creator of such thing, you are the God of that thing. Even your dreams, you're the God of your own dreams. And yet, at any time, you can destroy your dreams. You can remember your dreams. You can recreate your dreams. That is God. To us, God is all powerful, all knowing, all aware, because we're thinking about the God at the end. There's a version of God that once the universe is completed and has its beginning stage from when it first was birthed, at a certain point it has its end stage where the universe dies or deteriorates or goes away. There's a certain ending, however many trillions or quadrillions, whatever from now, right? The God at the end of our time existence, that God is the God that is all knowing, all powerful, all aware. The same God when you were creating a song or creating a story. When you finish the story, that's the version of you that knows the whole story, that can change any part of the story, that has full control and power and knowing of the story. Even totally start over and destroy and burn all the pages that you've written and start all over, create a whole nother universe, right? That is God, right? So that God at the end sees everything, is aware of everything, can change it. But the God right now, see, there's another God though. There's always the God of the now. There's always a God of the now. See, the God of the now is currently creating this part of the universe that we are now experiencing right now. So in one sense, God is creating right now. Right now, we are in the middle of the story being written right now. To us, we can only experience the now. So we're experiencing being created right now. As of this moment, we're still being created at all times. That God that's creating us right now is finite in their power, in their finite, or let me say limited. They're limited in their power, limited in their understanding, limited in their knowing, limited in their awareness. They are limited. That God, the God of the now, can look into the future and have a pretty good guess on where God's going to take the existence that we're in right now. But at any moment, God can change it or will change it. So, just that being said, when you think about when you're praying to God, which God are you praying to? Meaning, even if you're praying to the Creator God, are you praying to the creating you right now? Or are you praying to the future one that sees the whole picture? It's an interesting thing to think about. Now, this being said, free the form in the stone. Not sure what that means. Lightning, but Ashe. Kofi says relatable Ashe. And Sarah says, where do you get your information? Only one God, and he's not bound by this 3-dimension world. Well, for one, you don't know that there's only one God. There's only one source, but you don't know if that source is just one consciousness, like individual consciousness, like I am or like you are. You assume that is the case, and off of your limited knowledge of I guess biblical translations, you believe that is the case, right? But but I see where you're trying to come from, right? But I understand, because you're trying to limit what God can be because you're a limited being, right? But in actuality, though you are limited, it is possible for you to expand your understanding. I'm trying to help you to expand it. I'm not trying to replace. I'm not trying to replace anybody's belief system or faith. I'm not trying to replace it. I'm merely trying to help you expand your understanding to get a greater understanding of your God. And it doesn't matter the religion. It's going to relate either way, right? Mansard Manor, do you know who you are? I hope I do. But to say I know who I am, see, when I think about that question, I think about it in such a multi-layered way that I would say, in one sense, I know who I am now and I know who I was, but I don't know exactly who I will be, because that's always shifting, changing, growing. So, that's how I'll answer that question. Also, to say that God's not bound by a three-dimensional world. No, I never said that. I never said that God was bound by this world. No. See, when we create a video game, the beings, the entities, the energies, the creations, I'll just say that, the creations in the game are bound by that world. We are not bound by the same world that we created in the game or in the book. We're not bound by that world, but we are bound by this world. Because there is a God creator that created this existence, so we're bound by this. And then God that created this is bound by the world that it resides in. I say it. The God is bound, but not by a three-dimensional world, but by whatever dimension it resides in. And that's what I'm trying to express. We unravel according to God's plan. We do, and yet we don't. We do, and yet we don't. Because remember, even in any religious function, God is continuously adjusting, which means God's plan is like how humans have plans, but we adjust the plans. Why do we adjust the plans? Because you never quite know what's going to come out of you when we're creating. That's the way God is. God does not quite know what's going to come out of God when it's created. This is where free will versus will, this is where the free will concept comes in. See, prospectively, the characters in the game do not have free will, though they may believe that they have free will. See, we assume that the characters in a video game like GTA or Sims or anything like that, we believe that they're not conscious beings. Okay, you can keep thinking that. They are no different than us compared to the creator God. We're just in a little disc to God, right? That God is so much grander than us. We're just a little being on a disc or on a hard drive. We're just a video game, right? So to us, God probably doesn't even might not even think that we are actually conscious, to tell you the truth, because God is so much more beyond us. And I don't say God in a singular sense nor plural. It's just, I'm just talking about creating creator source energy, right? God source energy being more than likely is probably not aware if we're even conscious. To it, we are just an imitation, right? More than likely. So the characters in the video game do not have free will, though they may believe that they have free will. They may be given the options like AI. We give the options to AI like it has free will, but it doesn't really have free will. It doesn't have free, complete choice. Its choices are limited to what is available or to what the parameters are put on it. Same as us. But AI or any video game character or anything has, or even a story, even characters in a story, in a comic book, in a novel, have willpower. But this is how willpower works. See, we do not have free will, but we have willpower. Now, the amount of that power of will that you have varies from being to being. It depends on how connected you are. So this goes into the higher self, lower self. We are the lower self.